Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Inspired and Empowered Living TV show and podcast. We are live Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern on talk4tv.com, w4wn.com, and my YouTube channel. And today we are going to be talking more about creative freedom, Unlocking Your Limitless Potential, Part 3, focusing on abundance and creativity, and how to step into abundance using creativity as your tool for growth and success. And I'm your host, Nancy Deutsch. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, certified hypnotherapist, and intuitive business expert, and I combine my counseling, coaching, and intuitive abilities to inspire and empower you to transform your life and your business. And I want to also remind you that this is for educational purposes only, and it is not in replacement of counseling or therapy. So together, let's create an inspired and empowered life for your business and your life. Okay, so last week we were talking about creativity. We talked about creative blocks and what would keep you from being creative. We talked about how to tapping into that power greater than yourself, because when you're in connection with that power, that's when you are tapped into your creativity. And so when I'm talking about that power, what I mean is we're talking about what I call your higher self, that wise, unconditionally loving part of you. Also talking about your soul, the core energy essence of love and light, and excuse me, and the universe, the God, angels, guides, beings of light, whatever you choose to call it. And all of it is there for you to tap into, to help you tap into that creative energy that wants to move through you, to inspire you to go more expansive and create the amazing, thriving results for your life and your business. So let's talk about abundance and creativity. With the energy of abundance is more than just money. When we're talking about abundance, we're talking about the energy of love, of joy, of peace, of resources. We're talking about the energy of all different, like the energy of expansion. Abundance is so much more than money. And of course, money is part of it. And know that when you're in the creative flow and you're allowing yourself to be in that creative flow, you're tapping into that energy where abundance flows. And I also want to encourage you, if you're listening live, please feel free to ask any questions that may be coming up from anything that I may be saying. So, tapping into that abundant flow, allowing yourself to expand into the limitless possibilities of what life can hold for you. And as you do that, you, if you're in business, then you can allow your business to expand. If you're in a job and you want more abundance, when you tap into that flow, and so whether you're in a job, you're an entrepreneur, whether you're seeking to figure out how to create more money, no, it's all possible. The creative solutions are there for you and for the asking. And it's about you tapping into that creative flow so that you can open to that limitless potential and create the abundance that you deserve. And really want to make the point. Every single one of you deserves abundance. Abundance in all its forms. And what happens is the universe is abundant. The universe, God, higher power, whatever you want to call it, there is infinite possibilities, infinite abundance. And what keeps us from allowing ourselves to receive that infinite abundance is us. We are the biggest limitations to that abundance. And what I mean by that, and so I really want you to know, and I'm going to do my Psych 101 because I want you to be really clear that you're not doing it on purpose, okay? This is really important for all of you to know. It's not something you're doing on purpose to shut down the flow of abundance. It's about all the things that you've learned about money, all the things you've learned about abundance, all the things that you've learned in your lifetime that's affecting you now. So you have your conscious mind, which is the part of you that is tuning in today. So congratulations and thank you, conscious mind of yours. And then you have your subconscious mind. From the moment you were conceived to present time, your subconscious mind has recorded every moment that you've been alive. Now, what happens is in those recordings are limited beliefs and emotions that, like, here's the energy. I want you to imagine the energy of abundance, that limitless potential that you are. You can imagine it as a fountain that wants to keep flowing and flowing and flowing. Imagine that fountain that wants to flow. That's the universe, the infinite abundance. But what happens is because of the limiting beliefs and emotions, we shut it down, we block it, or we close it down and limit it instead of allowing that limitless flow to happen. So that's what needs to happen, is to clear those energies that keep you from the limitless flow. And then you have your superconscious mind, and your superconscious mind is the part of you that is the limitless potential, that is the infinite abundance potential, that wants to flow and flow through you. And it's there for the asking and also for the clearing, because in order to open more to the limitless flow, it's about clearing the old energies, clearing the old emotions, limiting beliefs, the things that keep you from the abundant flow. And so, allowing yourself to open to the possibilities that your superconscious infinite self want to give to you. And your creativity is you being in that alignment, you really being in the alignment of that flow, that infinite flow, the abundance, and allowing that abundance to keep on flowing and growing. That's what it's all about. And so, what I really want to support you in remembering is that creativity is not just about being artistic, okay? It's not just about being a painter or a cook or a drawer or a musician. It's about problem solving. It's about living your life from that creative place, running your business from a creative place. It's about you tapping into the greater you that transforms yourself in ways that you can't even imagine. And when you are tapped into that creative force, you're able to manifest, to bring forth things that in the past you might have been totally like, that can't happen for me. And I want to assure you it can. And every single one of you can create that abundant flow. And it's about, so how do you create the abundant flow? What do you need to do to create that abundant flow? Well, the first thing you need to do is there's a couple of things. You want to discover, where are you limited thinking? What's the limited thinking about money, about abundance? Even when you think about abundance, is it only money, or can it be more than that? Can it be love and joy, abundance and love and joy and peace and happiness and abundance in all these amazing things? Can it be all of that? And what I really want to assure you is it can. And it is. And when you are disconnected from that abundant flow, then that's where the limitations come in. So I invite you to look at your limiting beliefs about, maybe you have beliefs about there's not enough. There's never enough money. There's never enough energy. There's never enough time. There's never enough peace or joy or love. If you're in any of those never enoughs or not enoughs or limiting that, that is part of the ways that you're limiting your abundant flow. And remember that abundance is a vibration and it's an energy. And abundance wants to flow. Abundance wants to move, just like energy. Energy wants to move. You can't keep energy stuck. It moves. It's a constant state of motion. And so you want to be able to clear those energies. Now, emotions also want to move. If you look at the emotion of, okay, I'll get to that question in a moment. Okay, Karen, I see your question came in. So thank you. If your emotion whatever that emotion wants to move through you. So if you're feeling angry, you want to move it through your body. If you're feeling frustrated with your finances, if you're feeling frustrated with anything, you want to move that energy through and breathe and allow that energy to move through your body. And emotion, energy in motion. And that's what I'm saying. It wants to move. Now, if you're feeling really angry or really frustrated or any emotion or or fear, the one thing I really want to support you, you want to move the energy through your body. You want to breathe through it. You may want to exercise it out. There are other tools, and I've talked about them in other shows about clearing that energy, moving it through the body so that you're releasing the emotions. You just want to make sure you're not hurting yourself, you're not hurting someone else, and you're not hurting the environment. Other than that, move the energy. Find ways to move it. Walk, run, go to the gym, breathe, ground it into the earth and ask for a transformation. Find a way that works for you. Okay, so I know Karen has a question. Let's go to Karen's question. How do we know if we are setting the limitations or they are coming from some other place? So, Karen, thank you for the question. It doesn't matter, because here's the thing: if you are having the limiting belief and someone else is limiting, and here's the thing: if I am misinterpreting your question, please clarify it for me. But from what I'm seeing is that you, if you are taking on like your parents' limitations, society's limitations, or your own. And here's the thing: what happens is, because of the subconscious, all of that is happening. So our limited beliefs are coming from our parents, our upbringing. Our limited beliefs are coming from our culture, from society, all of that. You could be taking on your limiting beliefs from any of those sources. And if that's happening, that's what you want to make sure that you're clearing. So it doesn't matter if it's coming from you or it came from somewhere else, if it's still affecting you. And this is another: if you are feeling limited or shut down around your abundance, then you are being affected by a limiting belief and emotions that are stopping you from the abundant flow that the universe has in store for you. So whether they're coming from you, because now they're creating a block in you. And so the thing is to release and change the limiting belief and emotion. So it's discovering that limiting belief. And hopefully, Karen, that was helpful. Now, if there's another piece to that you want to ask, please feel free to ask so that I can expand on anything that I just said around what your question was. And Misty asks, is there a case where grounding would help clear? Yes. So first, for those of you who may not know what grounding is, when I talk about grounding, I'm talking about it's being in alignment, it's being centered, and you can feel your breath, you can feel your feet. And what happens is, one of the ways you can clear your emotions is you can imagine the emotions going down your body, down your legs, down your feet, and into the earth. And so you can ask for that energy to go down into the earth and ask for it to be transmuted or transformed into higher vibration. Now, another way that grounding helps to clear your energy is when you're grounded, you're actually in present time. When you're in the grounded state and you are aligned and you're in present time, you're more able to tap into your intuition that can guide you to the next place or the next space or the possibility of what you need in order to move you into the abundant flow. And when you're grounded and you're present, you can tap into, like I said, your intuition, and you can also discover where it's easier for you to discover where the blocks may be. So what I mean by that, let me give you an example. So let's say, going back to the beliefs that I was talking about before, like I never have enough money. And that could be a very common belief for most of us, okay? And now this is about transforming it. All right. So, so when you're in the grounded state, and again, the grounded is breathing and feeling your feet, being in a calmer, peaceful state. So you're more in the awareness of what could be coming up. And so you say to yourself, I never have enough money. And that is definitely a limiting belief. I never have enough money is a total limiting belief. Yes. Okay. Yes, your reality seems like, well, this is the reality. But what I really want to remind you all, okay, this is a game changer for all of you. Your beliefs create your reality. So if you start changing the belief, I never have enough money, to I have an abundant flow of money, you're going to start seeing the changes in your life or in your business. Now, it's not so simple as like poof, poof. And I do believe in magic and miracles. And there's also a process, because when you're in the grounded state and you're present and you're calm, and you say to yourself, I never have enough money. And one of the things, and this is what I do with my clients, and I'll give you an example. Jody. I was working with a client named Jody, and pseudonym. And Jody and I were working on her abundance issues. And so we were talking, and she said, I just never have enough money. I just never have enough money. I keep seeing it again and again and again in my life. I just don't have enough money. I don't have enough money for anything that I really want to do. So what happened was, I asked Jody, and I'm asking all of you as I'm talking about this, tune in. Go into the grounded state. Now, even if you're driving, obviously, please don't do that now. But at another time, come back to the podcast and do this exercise and ask yourself, where in your body are you feeling I never have enough money? Because depending where you have that energy in your body, the sensations, it will give you a clue to what needs healing and clearing so that you can transform the belief on a deeper level from I never have enough money to I have an abundant flow of money. So with Jody, what happened for her was when we worked with her, she felt it in her heart and she felt sadness. And what she got in touch with was that she did not feel worthy and deserving of having more money. And so she struggled her whole life. And I will also say that she grew up in a family. It was the family she grew up in. There was never enough money. And so that's what she learned from her parents. And so she kept replaying that. And I will say that there's generational issues that happen. So her parents also had issues around not feeling deserving or worthy, especially her mother. And her father didn't feel capable or good enough to make the money for the family and be a good provider. So she got it from both mother and father. In this case, the first belief that we worked on around having that abundant flow was working on clearing the deeper level and healing that she deserves abundant money, that she is worthy and deserving. And the way that we did that was we went back. I did some hypnosis with her, and we went back in time and helped her to be able to tune in and connect with the part of her that believed that she was not worthy or deserving. And it was these old voices from when she was a child that kept surfacing. And we worked with the child self to help her transform and feel that she was worthy and deserving of abundance and more money. And what happened was she began to believe I have a consistent flow of abundance in my life. Abundance and money keeps flowing, flowing and growing. And so what started happening is that Jody started getting ideas for how to increase her income, things that she could do to increase her income, business ideas to increase her income. And little by little, we started working on helping her to implement those ideas. And so here's the steps. So she discovered she became aware of the limiting belief, I never have enough money. Then we went to the body and she discovered it was in her heart center. And she discovered that it was that she didn't feel worthy or deserving. And so we worked on helping her to feel worthy and deserving. Another common belief that would keep you from abundant flow is you're not feeling safe or secure. So I never have enough money. I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe. I don't feel secure. I don't believe that I'll have an abundant flow of money in my life, that I can have that. And so it would be working on feeling safer and more secure. And Also asking yourself, what does money mean to you? Does it mean safety and security? What does money mean love? I mean, money is an energy. I said it was a vibration. Money is an energy unto itself. So what does money mean to you? Does money mean safety, security? Does money mean freedom? Like for a lot of my clients, money is financial freedom and being able to be free to do what you want, when you want, how you want, live your life in a freedom way. So begin to discover what does money mean to you? What are the beliefs that would stop you from creating that abundant flow and discovering that so that you can then transform them. And again, if there's any questions, feel free to ask. So another one is learning to see your potential. Now, I'm going to go into this deeper shortly. So, first, before we go on, I just want to share with you that I do have a meditation that really can help you to open to that creative flow, to help you to open to the abundance flow, help you to tap into your intuition and intuitive insights and answers that are waiting for you. And it's about opening to those possibilities. It's all there for you. So, being able, I have a meditation. It's the grounding and centering, and you do the grounding, centering, clearing, connecting with your higher self, and then receiving the intuitive answer or the information you have asked for. And there's also a PDF of it. So go to inspiredandempoweredliving.com/meditation. It's the name of the show, Inspired and Empowered Living.com/meditation. MEDITATION. So, and Rebel, please put the link in the chat. And so I talked about that potential, and we were talking about it last week from a question and opening to that limitless potential. Can you ever reach it? That was a question. And the bottom line is we are in the journey. We're always in the journey of moving towards that potential. Now, and if we have accomplished our life mission, then we may have accomplished our potential of what's possible in our life. But most of us are in the journey of accomplishing our life purpose, our life mission. And I also want to support you in knowing that when you're on purpose, when you're in alignment with the mission, your abundance will flow. Your creativity flows. You're all in that energy of alignment. And everything flows from that. Because the creative energy, the abundance energy, the intuitive energy, it's all coming from your source self, that super conscious place, the super conscious mind of yours. And when you tap into that, that's where you become unlimited and you release the potential of what is possible for you. Now, so abundance. So, what if you were to take something where, and we're going to reframe something. We're going to change how you're thinking about it. So, what if, can I afford this? Or there's no way I can afford this. And what if you were to change it to, how can I afford this? How can I create the possibility? How can I create the resources that I need in order to afford this? Now, what I want you all to know is that you have more resources than you can even imagine, and you don't even realize it. And what I mean by resources is, so you have family, you have friends, you have a job, or you have flow, and most of all, you have yourself. Most of all, you have intuition. And it's learning to tap into that. And you have your conscious mind, you have your superconscious mind, and you all have your subconscious mind. And it's learning to transform. Like I'm thinking of this figure eight, transform the subconscious mind into the energy of flow, going from the lack limitation into the abundance. So, how can I afford this rather than I could never afford this, or I can't do this, or can I afford this? So, all of those limit you right away. But when you open to, how can I make this possible? How can I open up to the possibilities? It totally transforms the way you can perceive something. So I really want to invite you to start asking questions. When you catch, okay, so this is about catching yourself. When you catch yourself, going into a negative belief or limiting belief, which shuts you down, begin to ask yourself, what can I say instead that will open me up to possibility, to that potential? So asking, what can you say can help you to move to, okay, to move to that abundant flow. So Anastasia said, it's best to be attached to yourself. Okay, Anastasia, can you explain that more? I'm not understanding exactly what you mean by that. Attached to yourself. Are you talking about being connected? Yes, it's best to be connected with yourself. And the more connected with yourself, so I'm thinking what you mean is, instead of attached, you're talking about connection. See, I call, yes, connected. Okay, thank you, Anastasia. All right. So yes, it's really crucial for you to be connected with yourself and to be connected to that higher light within you and the vibration. Now, it's learning to be more connected with yourself so that you can discover the limiting beliefs and emotions that would shut you down, that would limit that abundant flow. So when you're connected, you're able to tap in, like it's what I was talking about before, about being grounded and centered, so that you can become aware of where the limiting beliefs are showing up in your life. And one of the things you can do is you can ask yourself. So you can ask yourself, okay, so I want to open to more an abundant flow. Ask yourself, what am I doing to shut it down? What are the beliefs and the emotions? I would do it separate. What are the beliefs I am holding? Do it as a journal exercise. What are the beliefs I have right now that are keeping me from abundant flow? What are the beliefs I have right now that are keeping me from the abundant flow? And then I would do, what are the emotions that I have that are keeping me from the abundant flow? So you want to journal that and see what comes, because that is another way that you can get at those limiting beliefs and emotions. And all of this, so you're getting clear on the emotions, getting clear on the limiting beliefs that keep you from the abundant flow. It's discovering what the blocks are, and then clearing the energy and changing the belief and the emotion to a positive. Now, very often you will need to do the clearing before you can actually change it on the deeper level. And so asking, and here's, you can ask the question, what can I do to help myself move from this place to abundant flow? What action can I take right now that can open me to abundant flow? And letting that energy, letting the information flow through you. And then once you receive that, and this is part of the creative process, once you receive the information, it's going to be crucial to take the inspired action. Inspired action is a really important piece. You cannot create the abundant flow. Like with Jody, what happened was she was getting all these abundant ideas. And so what we started doing was step by step helping her to implement the ones that were the most significant for her to bring into manifestation. And that, and then when you're in that journey and you're in the process, you're in the flow. And what I really want to remind you is know that all of you can do this. I believe in you. I know you can get and tap into the abundant flow, no matter where you are right now, step by step, piece by piece. And remember, baby steps too. It's taking the actions, getting clarity on what those beliefs are, clearing the energy, and transforming the old beliefs into new beliefs so that you're in that abundant flow. And I want to wish you, we're going to have more inspired and empowered living next week. And I have some guests that'll be on. So we're very excited about my guests that will be on. And so join me next week for more inspired and empowered living. We're live on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern on talk4tv.com, w4wn.com, and my YouTube channel. And you can hear the podcast on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple, Pandora, Amazon, and many more. And I want to wish you an abundant, inspired, and empowered day evening, and week. Have a great one, everybody. Bye for now.